6, and in this video we will analyzing a poem
I wandered lonely as a cloud.
So without any further ado,
Let's check it out!
Hello everyone, so my name is Yundesita Yunika Tiasari, just call me Yunika. I came from 2023I with students number 083.
Hello, my name is Auradika Skrata Ayun with student number 056 and I'm from 2023I class.
Hello everyone, my name is Maureen Fanika with student number 129. I'm from 2023I class.
I Wandered Lonely as a Cloud by William Wordsworth. I wandered lonely as a cloud that floats on high o'er fields and hills, when all at once I saw a crowd, a host of golden daffodils, beside the lake, beneath the trees, fluttering and dancing in the breeze.
Continuous as the stars that shine and twinkle on the Milky Way, they stretch a never-ending line along the margin of a bay. 10,000 saw I at a glance, tossing their heads in sprightly dance.
The waves beside them dance, but they outdid the sparkling waves in glee. A poet cannot but be gay in such a jocund company. I gazed and gazed, but little thought what wealth the show to me had brought. For oft, when on my couch I lie, in vacant or in pensive mood, they flash upon that inward eye, which is the bliss of solitude. And then my heart with pleasure fills, and dances with the daffodils.
So the title. When we read the title, I Wandered Lonely as a Cloud, it reminds us of some of these points. The first is uncertainty. The second, maybe an identity crisis, a loneliness, or maybe a longingness, a lost journey, lost, solitude, and also a wanderer. Paraphrase. So, when we want to know better about the meaning of the poem, we can paraphrase the language and make it into simpler. So for the stanzas 1 can be rephrased like this. I, the writer of the poem, roamed this journey alone, without a direction like a cloud, drifted and placed in the sky above the fields and hills. At the same time, he saw a group of golden, or we can call it bright yellow, daffodils swaying by the light, wind, and also around the lakes and trees. For the stanzas 2, we can rephrase the meaning into like this. Daffodils look like a shining stars, sparkling on the galaxy, widely spread in endless lines along the line of a bay. Then he saw 10,000 an instant joyful, swaying their heads as if dancing. Next, for the stanzas 3, we can rephrase it into like this. The daffodils move together then beyond the ocean waves. It describes a poet who could not help but be happy in such a joyful company of daffodils. But still, the eye keeps searching for something, even though he have all the things to be grateful for with him. And the last is for the stanza 4. We can rephrase it into like this. Often, when I, the writer of this poem, lying on his couch, whether feeling empty or deep in thought, the memories of daffodils suddenly appear in his mind, which is bringing the joy of being alone.
So let's move on to the third aspect of TPCASTT, which is connotation. Now let's talk about the form. The poetry has 6 lines, each in 4 stanzas, and is structured as ABABCC. That's why I put it as quatrain couplet, since quatrain is a stanza of 4 lines, and couplet is 2 lines of verse with rhyme. Now let's move on to the diction. Diction refers to an author's choice of words and how those words are used in writing or speech. It affects the tone, mood, and style of a piece. Diction can be formal, informal, simple, complex, or even poetic, depending on the effect that author want to create. So the diction is wonder, as in feelings of solitude. The daffodils means the beauty of nature, sense of joy and vibrancy. The last, lonely, which means isolation. And now to the imagery. Imagery refers to descriptive language that appeals to the senses, helping to create vivid pictures in the reader's mind. It involves using words that trigger our senses of sight, sound, smell, taste, or touch, movement, temperature. As we're speaking about imagery, let's analyze it together with me. As I mentioned before, imagery has 5 aspects, which is visual, the thing that you can see, auditory, things that you can hear, olfactory, things that you can smell, and tactile, the texture that you can feel. And the last one is olfactory. It's like a flavor that you can taste. And now let's take a look at the first stanza of I Wandered Lonely as a Cloud. In the second line, I put it in yellow highlights, which is indicating the visual aspect that floats on high or vales and hills. It's as if you can see the cloud that floats over the vales and hills. And now, a host of golden daffodils. It has 3 aspects, which is visual, olfactory, and textile. The visual one is the host of golden daffodils. It means the golden daffodils is spreading around you, which is there's a lot of the daffodils. And the olfactory aspect, it's as if you can smell the fragrance of the daffodils. And the textile is as if you can touch the textures, the feeling of the golden daffodils. And next, to the next line, beside the lake, beneath the trees. There is 2 aspects, which is visual and auditory. Beside the lake, I put it in auditory aspects because when I read the poetry, it feels like I could hear the sound of the lake, and also as if I could see the lake is storming beneath the trees. And next line is fluttering and dancing in the breeze. It has 1 aspect, which is auditory, the dancing in the breeze. It's as if I could hear the wind flows, the breeze. Let's take a look at the second stanza. Continuous as the stars that shine and twinkle on the Milky Way. They stretch in never-ending line along the margin of a bay. 10,000 saw I at a glance, tossing their heads in sprightly dance. In that second stanza, it has a lot of visual aspects, which is in the stars that shine and stretch in never-ending line along the margin of a bay. It's like when you read it, you could see the stars that shine. You can imagine it in your head. And the daffodils that stretch it in never-ending line. It's like widely spread in endless line. It's like a lot of daffodils along the margin of a bay. And 10,000 saw I at a glance, and I saw 10,000 in an instant. The daffodils tossing their heads and sprightly dance. As you can imagine, the daffodils is swaying their heads as if they're dancing. Now let's move on to the third stanza. It has the waves beside them dance, but they outwit the sparkling waves in glee. I put it in visual aspect, but also in auditory. So which one the visual? Visual one is the waves beside them dance. As if you can see, the daffodils is moving along with the ocean waves. And then the auditory, before it mentions that there's waves, and it means there's an ocean. And in olfactory aspects, it's the things that you can smell. So in my head, I could smell the fragrance of the waves. And that's it for the third stanzas. Let's move on to the fourth stanzas. There is one textile in far off when on my couch I lie. It's as if you can touch the texture of the couch. And then they flash upon that inward eye. And it means they suddenly appear in my mind. So, in visual aspects, you can see it stroking in your eyes. We're still in connotation aspects. Let's talk about point of view. I, first person POV as the author, is a person who amazed about nature, daffodils. We want to deliver a message about the beauty of nature is the bliss of memory that could heal the loneliness in his mind. And as to the symbolism aspect, cloud is symbolized as loneliness, daffodils symbolized as happiness, and the lake is symbolized as inner peace. Let's move on to the next aspect, which is sound devices. It's structured as an iambic tetrameter.
Okay, now we are going to discuss the figurative language of this poem. And the first one is similar. Actually, we just found two of similar in this poem, which are I wandered lonely as a cloud and continuous as the stars that shined. Here, I wandered lonely as a cloud. He wants to depict that he is, like the author is lonely as a cloud, like he compared himself with a cloud. And then second, continuous as the stars that shined, he wants to deliver that the daffodils, the flower, are continuous like the stars that shine. Okay, now we come to hyperbole. There's just one hyperbole in this poem, which is 10,000 saw I at a glance, because here 10,000 is a large number, and actually the author doesn't really know the exact number of the flowers, so he delivered it with like so many amount of flowers. So that's why here he said 10,000 saw I at a glance. And third one is metaphor. Metaphor, in this poem there are two metaphors, which are a host of golden daffodils. Here, a host means a large group or like a crowd of people. So, he wants to depict that the golden daffodils are like a host of people. Yeah, he said it like the daffodils equals to a host of people. Yeah. And then, this emphasizes the vast number of flowers. Then the second, they flash upon that inward eye. Here, inward eye actually represent memory or imagination of the writer. Like Whenever you saw golden daffodils, sometimes when you feel tired or feel blank, you will just saw the golden daffodil flash throughout his memory or imagination. Yeah, like he wanted to depict that this golden daffodils brings him calmness and brings him happiness. Okay, then the next one is personification. What is personification, guys? So personification is when you depict some of like dead things, like things, not living things, like a person, like a living things. Yeah. So for example here, fluttering and dancing in the breeze. Like you know that the golden daffodils cannot really actually dancing and fluttering like people, and then tossing their heads in sprightly dance. Like you know the daffodils cannot dance. Yeah, and then the waves beside them dance, but they acted the sparkling wave in glee. And then the last one is they stretch in never-ending line. Like the word stretch here, actually the golden daffodils cannot stretch like people stretch like that.
Now we are going to discuss about the alliteration. So alliteration is a series of words that begin with the same consonant sound. So for example, in this poem, I wandered lonely as a cloud, in the first stanza, especially in the fifth verse, beside and beneath. B sound is the same consonant sound in a verse. And the lake and the trees, the sound. Yeah, that's the example of alliteration, and you could just saw the rest of the alliteration examples.
So the next aspect is speaker's attitude or attitude. Attitude itself is reversed to behavior or act from the speakers or author towards this poem. So the speaker's attitude towards the poems is the first is reflecting on his loneliness and comparing it to a cloud. That you know itself, the cloud is fly away in the sky and drifts directionlessly in the sky that is bright. And the next is expressing lively joy from showing how nature could uplifting his mood. The nature itself refers to the daffodils, and daffodils itself with the colors of bright yellows can uplift his moods and is influenced in his emotional condition.
Okay, now I will explain about the shift in this poem. So we can see here the shift starts from this verse, which is far off when on my couch I lie in vacant or in pensive mood. Here speakers was felt lonely at first, vacant and in a pensive mood. But then they flash upon that inward eye. They here is the golden daffodils that suddenly flash throughout his memory or imagination, or he suddenly visualized the golden daffodils in his mind, and then which is the bliss of solitude. Like it began with vacant and pensive mood, and then it changed into like the bliss of solitude. Like he really feel the happiness when he think about the golden daffodils that he saw before. And it really successfully lifts up his mood. And then my heart with pleasure feels. Like in the end, the speaker expressed an emotional fulfillment after thinking about the beauty of nature and feeling much better than before. So that's the shift.
So the last aspect of this analysis is title. You might be asked why title is bring up again after the first we discussed. So the reason why we discussing about the title, we will conclude a theme and a title based on a new insight and also perspective that we had after analyzing some of several aspects before. So in here, the title that we can conclude, or the theme that we can conclude first is, a little happiness could relieve a big loneliness. Why? Because the title, I Wandered Lonely as a Cloud, represents a starting point from someone or the author or speakers that that represents the starting point of someone's minds. And then the daffodils is the simple thing or nature that he captured on his mind could bring him a happiness on his solitude. So we can also conclude the theme of this poem as nature is a loneliness relief of God gift.
Okay guys, that's the end of our analysis, and that's all from us. Thank you for watching!